Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the program Morning Delight. We are thrilled to bring you a fantastic show today, packed with informative segments, exciting news, and delightful conversation. As always, my name is John Ime, and as usual, I have my co-host, Pearl Omori. Pearl, good morning.
Hello, John. Hello, everyone. Join us for an hour of fun, learning, and excitement as we explore the world of Morning Delight. Yes, plug in a great time with words of wisdom, fit and fresh, and more. Stay connected for what will leave you feeling refreshed, revitalized, and ready to take on the day.
Today's lineup is fantastic. We've got a special guest on the show, and he is Dr. Obo Osewe Evaristos, a consultant, radiation, and clinical oncologist who will share his expertise on cancer treatment and hope. Please stay with us. All right, on the show today, we have carefully curated all the segments for you. We have all the informative segments, we have entertainment, we have sports, we have fit and fresh, and of course, inspirational words of wisdom. Pearl?
Let's start with some inspiring words to set the tone for the day. Our theme today is empowerment through knowledge. Let's take a moment to reflect on this inspiring message.
Inspiring was there. Let's take those inspirational thoughts as we move on our daily lives today. Now, let's go on with our next bit on the show, which is Fit and Fresh. Today, we're focusing on healthy habits to boost your energy and productivity throughout the day. Our fitness experts will share some tips with us. Let's see Fit and Fresh.
Fit and Fresh today examines mindful eating. In today's fast-paced world, it is easy to get caught up in the hustle and bustle and forget to nourish our bodies and minds. Our guest today is Uchechi Oku, and she will guide us on how we can achieve mindful eating.
Mindful eating is just the idea of you not just eating for satiety alone. You have to be cautious. You should know why you are eating what you are eating. You're not just eating for, let me belle full, like some people usually say. Belle no eating the inside, me belle just full. You should be mindful of what is going into your body. having all these food groups in mind and greatly avoiding highly or overly processed foods. Sometimes some people want to replace foods with overly processed foods. That is not mindful eating. Your 3 square meals is what you actually need. Your 3 square meals, your breakfast, your lunch, and your dinner. And when you have even taken your breakfast, lunch, and dinner at the appropriate time, you would find out that you won't be hungry for something else. And what are these appropriate times to eat? For your breakfast, it should come before 9 a.m. As an individual that is not living with any disease conditions. For different disease conditions, the timing might change. But as an individual that is not living with any disease condition, you should have your breakfast before 9 a.m. And then, after you eat by 9 a.m., your lunch should come anytime between 12 and 2 p.m. Your dinner should come between 5 p.m. and latest 7 p.m. So when you eat within these times, you would really not have the need or feel hunger to eat at any other time. When you take your 3 square meals, you would actually not feel the need to snack. But if you must snack, you just want to chew something, especially for someone that's transitioning, maybe you're used to taking high calorie foods as snacks and you want to transition into taking healthier things, you can use things of lesser calories like your cucumbers, garden eggs. These are lower calorie things that you can snack on. You can even take fruits. Every advice I'm giving here is for somebody that is not living with any disease condition, because for every disease condition there are alterations that are made. So for an individual that is not living with any disease condition, you can take fruits, you can take carrots, you can snack on things like this.
By incorporating mindful eating into our daily lives, we can improve our relationship with food and our overall well-being. Take a deep breath, slow down, and savor each bite, and your body and mind will thank you.
Like the saying goes, you are what you eat. Well, like my co-host said, we have a special guest in the house. Our special guest today is Dr. Obo Osewe Evaristos, a consultant, radiation and clinical oncologist. Dr. Obo has extensive experience in cancer treatment and research. And we're excited to have him share his insight with us today. He's worked with some of the top medical institutions and has a passion for helping his patients overcome cancer. First, before we have him, let's see his profile.
Cancer, a war that strikes fear in the hearts of many. A disease that affects millions worldwide, causing pain, suffering, and loss. But amidst the challenges, there is hope.
I've been treating cancer for the past 3 years now. So initially, when I was diagnosed of cancer, I didn't know there were treatments for it. So I went into Tradomedica before I got the information that there are good treatments for it. So I came to the hospital. Since then, I've been battling with it. I've done surgery, and I'm on chemotherapy right now. The doctors are saying I should go for radiotherapy, so go to Lagos or Abuja for radiotherapy. But I learned that they want to build a place here and bring machine here to make it easier for us. So we are anticipating and waiting for the machine, and finally our dream came to pass. The machine was brought and it was commissioned last week.
The University of Benin Teaching Hospital, UBTH, has installed a state-of-the-art linear accelerator machine in its oncology center, made possible through the collaborative effort with the federal government of Nigeria.
My husband had this health issue, and we started coming to UBTH. So at a stage, we were told that we needed to go through radiotherapy. So, and the machine in Benin has been down, so that we'll have to travel to Lagos, Calabar or Enugu. So we choose to go to Lagos. So it has not been easy. But thank God today the federal government through some other bodies have restored the machine, and we are happy about that.
It is expected that the machine will enable precise and effective radiation therapy, giving patients a better chance at beating cancer. Authorities say early detection, effective treatment, and compassionate care will improve survival rates and quality of life. The center is committed to providing hope, healing, and support to those affected by cancer.
The government used this establishment as one of the hospitals where they can assess cancer health fund. It's a means whereby the government assists patients through the treatment journey of cancer. So knowing that they can get that opportunity to register with the cancer health fund and get treated, and also have the machine in our domain here, is an added advantage to them. So we encourage the people around and other states too to come and enjoy it, because it's one of the best machine in the whole of Nigeria.
As the fight against cancer continues, sufferers and families hold onto hope, care, and determination, and are excited about the positive impact these newly installed facilities will have on their community.
Dr. Obo, you are welcome to Morning Delight.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me.
Yes.
I'm glad to be here.
Thank you. My first question is, what is the importance of early detection of cancer?
Thank you very much, and I would just want to thank the NTA management for allowing us to share our thoughts on this very important topic. Cancer, like we know, has been, a significant health burden worldwide, not just confined to the low middle countries, even the Western developed ones as well. But what has been found to be very important in treating cancer is early diagnosis is key in its management. For those that are presented early with cancers, the chance of having treatment with aim of cure is higher than those coming with advanced stages. But we found over time that most of our patients in this part of the world, in middle, low-income countries, Africa, Nigeria inclusive, often present with very advanced diseases. Like I will tell you, studies have shown that we have over 80% of them come to us in stage 4. And at that stage, at best, you can offer them what we call palliative treatment, just to try and improve their quality of life and try to extend their life to the best you can. But in most civilized world, like Europeans and South America and North American countries, they present early. Why? Because they have what we call routine screening procedures, which we call secondary prevention.
Doctor, you've seen that insightful and detailed report. I think with that now, for what most of your patients, most of the patients that their relatives have said, that means there's hope for early detection and treatment, perhaps, of this cancer. Can you shed more light on that, please?
Yeah, it's important to detect cancer early. Like I earlier mentioned, cancer diagnosis is not a death sentence. So we've had that misconception over time that once you have cancer diagnosis is a death sentence. But we've seen now that it's very, it's not correct. It's not correct. The factors are, how is it being diagnosed? Is it early or is it advanced? So cancer detected early, what happens that patients actually have potential having what called radical treatments. They can have surgery, they can have radiotherapy and chemotherapy. What's your aim of treatment is to cure them that cancer. We've had several cases, and it's actually no, we're just saying, we're not trying to be nice about it, but it's the reality. But what's the problem? The problem is most of the patients in part of the world present in very advanced stages. They come to us in stage 3 and stage 4, oftentimes metastatic. At that point, some are not even able to do surgery, but to be the first treatment modality. So at best, just give them what we call palliative chemotherapy, radiotherapy. We are aimed to control disease and just prolong their life, improve quality of life. So, but the fact that how to prevent cancers, can that be by that we call primary prevention, secondary or tertiary? What's primary prevention? It talks about creating an awareness, cancer awareness, cancer advocacy, cancer education. People are told what to avoid, what not to eat, like we heard from that dietitian, what not to eat, lifestyle modification, social habits to avoid, so you don't get this cancer. That's primary prevention. What's secondary? Secondary means that screening. Now we hear about screening for colon cancer, colonoscopy. We hear about screening for breast cancer, mammogram, ultrasound scanning. What that does is that when you screen patients at times, you get the cancer at the very early stage, when they are not yet symptomatic. And at that time, you can offer them all components. You can give them surgery, you can give them chemotherapy, radiotherapy, and you can achieve cure. With that cure, they live normal life. Our patients have had cancer for the past 15 years, they are still alive and doing very well. 12 years. The reason is because they came early. I'll give you an instance. Like in Europe and other northern private countries, for pediatric cancer patients, if you have any 10 diagnosed in Europe and America, 10 will be alive, but 2 will die. But in Africa, some middle income countries, when you diagnose 10, 8 will die, 2 will be alive. It tells you that there's a culture of people not being screened. They are not screened. There's post-screening. So I'm looking at that. We urge the government to emphasize and incorporate screening into our national healthcare scheme. People go for screening for all forms of cancers. With that, you're able to actually get cancer early stage. You give them curative treatment with curative intent. So, like I earlier mentioned, cancer is not a death sentence, but we must emphasize the need for early diagnosis, create awareness, education, and advocacy, screen, secondary prevention, and get them early, and give them things that we give them cure, and they can just move on and now be survivorship.
What are the common signs and symptoms that people should be aware of?
That's a very good question. But various cancers have their own various symptoms too. So if you're talking about a woman having breast cancer, what will she see? She'll feel a lump on the breast. Over time, may not be painful, be painless lump. And that lump over time, people say, oh, I have a lump on my breast. We implement to call breast examination. They do themselves, and they feel lump on the breast. Some may overlook it. But why we're having this meeting now is to emphasize and not to educate them, give them the knowledge that any lump is on your breast is not normal, not meant to be there. You present early with that lump. What we do a mammogram confirming the state of that lump, then it could be taken out and decide what is there. Is it benign or malignant? Interestingly, most times it's actually benign and not malignant. When I have the malignant ones, then we not establish is there a spread or locally advanced. Locally advanced or localized can be treated. But when metastatic, we not give the treatment for metastatic diseases. So others are like bladder cancers. You have things like passing blood in urine, which causes bacteria. That's the commonest kind we have to have a cancer of bladder. So with that, you don't have to overlook it. It's not hard to have blood in your urine. Others are lung cancers. They have distressing cough. They can have difficulty with breathing. They can have the work in this sound is having difficulty, but they can't breathe very well. Then Others are things that they have blood in the sputum, they have cough, they can't really, they can start having things of metastasis. They can have bone pains. Why? That's going to the bone. You could have headaches. Change personality. Why? Because it's going to the brain. So there are signs of metastasis. But early signs can really see things like maybe they have severe distressing cough. It doesn't go away, it doesn't go down with all the antibiotics. Instead, it gets worse. They don't breathe very well. They could actually become very dyspneic, and others can have weight loss. They can have fatigue. There are signs of disease progression. So the essence of it is that let's emphasize the need for early prevention. Like I talked about, early prevention is key in cancer diagnosis, and it prevents the burden. The cancer actually talk about, the cancer is metastasized and the stage 4 cancer. It has more burden. Why? Because advanced cancers, they cost you more to treat, and usually the outcome is always very not very impressive. Poor outcome. But early stage cancers, it costs you less to treat, and we have better outcome. So we must emphasize the need for early diagnosis and routine screening. Like abroad, they screen routinely. That's why they get the cancers more early, and they do very well. People who are going abroad for treatment abroad and you already have a stage 4 cancer here, the outcome most likely will be the same thing. Why? Because you've not been screened properly, and now you have an advanced cancer, and now you are in the UK and US. Fine, they will treat you, but oftentimes the outcome is similar to what we have even in countries like Nigeria and Southern Africa.
Thank you very much, Dr. Obo. With that report we played, it shows that Benin City, Edo State, now has a new facility. Can you throw more light on that, helping the cancer patient, especially from this part of the world?
In fact, that's my department, and I will tell you, this intervention is historic and it's timely. Because we had this machine in 2015. Before now, there was a van initiative by the former president, Ozio Obasanjo, and we had the machine that was installed. Unfortunately, there was a problem with other Nigeria centers. They kept breaking down one after the other. And at a point in 2015-16, that was the only machine working in the whole country. We're getting patients from north, west, south, Lagos, they were coming to Benin. So we had to exceed the machine's capacity. Machine that should be taking 40 patients per day, 50, now taking 80, 90 patients. There's a red flag for us. Red flag though. But we took patients away. No, you can't do that. And as expected, machine broke down in 2015. So the machine coming, like I said, is very historic, and is actually timely, and is a huge one for the South.
Okay, so doctor,
yes,
with this advancement in cancer treatment, what do you think? How do you think it can affect the outcomes of patients who have cancer?
Yeah, sure. We understand the fact that it's not all patients we refer that want to go to another state, another center, because patients are doctor will call migratory pattern to access the type of treatment. You tell a woman that is 85 years old to go to radiotherapy, some actually decline that option. Some will tell you how much more time do I have to live, you understand? But the patient has a cancer of the spine and in a wheelchair, you tell that patient go to Lagos. It's not easy. The woman that has the breast on the brain go to Lagos. It's not difficult for the logistics are more challenging. But now we've gone past that. And we moved to level 1 and say, I've seen a clinic, move out to the next building for radiotherapy treatment. And that brings so much assurance that my treatment in UBT, I have my chemotherapy, radiotherapy, my surgery all in one center. That's the beauty we have right now. Patients have to have chemotherapy, we give them surgery, and then say the next week radiotherapy. They say, what am I having? I have to go to Lagos. So it's difficult for them. They've actually gone through a lot, and it's been a traumatic experience for a patient. This has brought home like a trophy. Like a trophy for us right now. The patient can have all treatment for cancer in Benin UBTH completed. And this south zones, so it's in the south zone, and part of even the north central. We've had patients from Kogi coming to Benin for treatment, and that's how they will come to treatment. So it's a big machine that will be used to our patients, and to be so helpful in cancer treatment, and also bringing us good outcome in our patient management therapy.
That was really insightful, Doctor. I'm not going to exhaust all of your knowledge. You're still going to stay with us for a bit, so we can check out that segment. Well, I hope you've gotten a lot of information about cancer, but time for us to check on the delicious recipe today. We'll be making a nutritious breakfast dish, and that's perfect for a busy morning. Our chef will share some tips on how to prepare this healthy and tasty meal in no time. Enjoy.
Today we will be journeying into the process of making beans and pap. Now I know beans and pap is one of those breakfasts that we like taking in the morning before going to work, or Saturday morning most times when the family is set and the dining is full. Now we'll be journeying into the process, and we have our ingredients all set on the table. Here we have our pap, our raw pap. We have not made it yet. Here we have our red oil. We have our onion, we have our salt, we have a bit of fish just to give it a little spice. We have our grounded pepper, we have our seasoning, we have our grounded fresh tomato and pepper also, and we have our already parboiled beans. Do stay with us as we journey. Now after rinsing the pot, of course the pot is wet, so we'll wait for it to get dried. Then we'll add our first ingredient, which is the red oil. Maybe reduce the gas a little bit. Now we go with our onion. Our fish, then we stir. What we do now is we add our tomato and pepper, our fresh tomato and pepper paste that we already grounded. We stir properly. This is yummy, so yummy. The consistency is just giving what it should give. Now let's taste it and see if we need to add any other ingredient. Go this way. Very delicious. Now I'm adding my beans to it because I've gotten the consistency I need in my sauce. I'm just going to turn it a little bit, little by little, for the right consistency. Remember we parboiled our beans, and I told you earlier that we parboiled our beans, just in case you are wondering how the beans came about. Even as we wait for our beans to steam with the already made sauce, let's boil water for our pap. Now to round up this segment and session of quick cuisine, let's dish our beans into the bowl. Wow, here is our meal for today. Our beans and our pap. Thank you so much for joining us today on Quick Cuisine session of Morning Delight Show.
We still have Dr. Obo with us to put finishing touches to our conversation. But before we go on, Doctor, would you recommend that busy breakfast for your cancer patients? On a lighter note.
Yeah, sure.
Really, it's quite healthy.
It's quite healthy. Pap and
beans. Pap and beans. Yes.
It's good. Beans is a plant protein, so it's very. It's good, high nutritious, and in terms of, it's proteins. It's a good meal. It's recommended. Why? Because for my patients, what we really emphasize is the fact that they're having treatments which also can affect normal tissues of the body. They are having a disease also affecting tissues in the body. So we need proper nutrition, enough of carbohydrates, enough of proteins to try and repair those damages being caused by our treatments. With that, good nutrition, you're sure there'll be minimal toxicity from this treatment. So we don't try to restrict them or restrict them from eating. They must eat healthily. They must eat well. The issue of diet for cancer is mainly preventive. So you don't eat red meat because it's going to be a risk factor for most colon cancers. So, but issue of person on chemotherapy, we are saying don't eat this, don't eat that. They become malnourished, they lose nutrition, and then they can actually correct those damage being done by this treatment and the cancer itself. So, retreating means for patients is not in any way advisable or probably advocated for patients. They must eat well. The average Nigerian's diet is not actually so balanced, in quotes, you know. So now eating this is balanced, is recommended, is good for them. So, but when I say don't eat this, for those that don't actually have any malignancy and try to modify their diet, their lifestyle, so you don't actually have any malignancy. So, but those on treatment, my confirmation with cancers, they can eat well. The wonderful meal, they can have beans, the good meal, they can have pap, they can have akara. They're good, they're fine. Okay.
I can remember vividly, I think for the past year or two now, this is happening around UBTH. It is rumored that most of your doctors, I'll use this local term, jackba, and now we have these facilities here. So who are those people to operate? We have more patients, but who are to attend to these people?
Yes, very true. We have more patients, no doubt about that. Like I'll give an instance. When I resumed UBJ, like about 10 years ago as a consultant, we're having as much as maybe 30 to 35 patients in the clinic. Now we're having over 100 and something. So it tells that there has been a remarkable increase in the patient was seeing the number. So there's higher number, higher incidence, more people, more patients. But it's actually, a fact I can't run away from. The national problem. People are abroad, all the health workers are involved in it, both the doctors, the nurses, across the board. But we also affect it. We've also lost some of our oncology staffs to the Jackpot syndrome. But we still have enough on ground to run this machine and to also treat our patients. And also, you understand the fact that this machine is high-tech patient machine. There's a plan for its maintenance. A very comprehensive plan by a health service agent in collaboration with UBTH to maintain and run this machine and provide spare parts and make sure that the downtime is zero. Downtime for a patient is bad and for the machine. The downtime when you're treating, you stop treating, the tumor repopulates and gets more difficult to treat. So in that wise, there's a comprehensive plan. I'm aware of that. That's the complaint by UBTH and to ensure that there's comprehensive agreement to ensure that there's zero downtime one, and whatever we have to do with maintenance is done routinely on the machine, and any breakdown should not go beyond 24 hours is fixed. Because the machine, there are going to be problems expected, but there's a plan to ensure that it doesn't become too long. So that's what we have right now. So with the machine, topping the machine, we're available around. We'll be having trainings, and we're having trainings even right now. So the machine will be used maximally, optimally, so that we get the best out of the machine. So I run the machine. We still have enough consultants on ground. We have resident doctors on ground. We have enough nurses. We have medical physicists, radiographers on ground that have been trained to operate this machine and make sure we get the best out of the machine for our patients to optimally benefit from it.
So what advice do you have for patients and families suffering from cancer?
My advice for them is, do the needful. One, present to a facility. Present to a facility. Be assessed, be evaluated by the oncology team, and you're told what stage you are. And treatment is given to you that actually suits that particular stage. It could be stage 1, 2, 3, 4. Whatever it is, just present. Don't go about seeking for help when there's no help. The help is meeting the experts who have been trained for this purpose to give you the desired treatment that will give you desired outcome. Because the fact is that we're having so much mortality from cancers, and we must now start changing that narratives that you must not have cancer and die from it. There's hope for them to get better and get better outcome, and that will want for our patients. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Doctor. So what advice would you give to families, especially those in this region here, affected by cancer, might have lost maybe 1 or 2 relatives to cancer? Because they're watching you, the audience now.
Yeah, for them, what we do is that we now have what we didn't have in the past. We now call them more like genetic testing for relatives. You know, you've had siblings, maybe a mother, a sister, or something that had breast cancer, or for instance. We now work on genetic marking for them, genetic testing for them. What it is actually go to just show you those who are alive, those who are alive, what are their chances of getting this cancer? How can be done to intervene to prevent it from happening. So it's available. So if they come to CCDC, UBTH, or to my department, to be well navigated on how to assess that genetic testing to determine, oh, my mother had breast cancer, now I have 4 or 5 daughters, what are their chances? What could we do to help them? Of course, they already have a genetic predisposition. So we'll now do for them what we call BRCA1-2 gene to assess their chance of getting it. What are their chances? What can be done to intervene to prevent them from having those cancers? You know, there's hope for patients with breast cancer. For the family that happen to have breast cancer, there's also hope for them when with this new intervention.
I think I have this link question. Somebody, we're talking about this topic, somebody tweeted in something and said, Pearl, since you'll be talking about something related to cancer, and yet these facilities are here, with the economic issues affecting everybody, even international scene, people would ask, are these machines accessible and accessible to these facilities? Is it free?
It can't be free. It can't be free. Because, like I will just tell you, that machine cost the federal government over 8 billion naira. I must commend the federal government for this effort, because the fact is, if somebody does well, you tell them, you just say it. So it's good. For me, it's a trophy for the South, it's a trophy. Like people say they have won World Cup, these are a World Cup for us. So, then having said that, it can't be free. Why? Because you have to understand that machines that cost this much also cost much to maintain. If you make it free, and tomorrow the machine breaks, and what do we do? I was built in 2016. It couldn't be fixed because there was no plan for comprehensive maintenance of the machine. So you have to pay some money to keep the machine running and to serve the populace. So in that wise, they will pay some money, but it will be too much. It will be too much because having a machine that they cannot afford will be another problem. Should be available and also affordable. Yes.
So, like, how much is it? Is there hope for the common man?
There's no for the common man. There's also for the common man. But in terms of the pricing now, I don't have that now.
Okay,
I don't
trying to
go into that.
it.
Yeah, we will not fix it yet.
Okay.
Because the government 100% funded.
Yes.
So we have to look at what is affordable, that people can afford, and used to have to, because there's no use having a machine that will be too expensive and is not utilized.
Yes.
You understand? So it should be affordable. It's already available. It's there already. Somebody will say, oh, maybe someone's AI. It's not AI, it's real. The machine is there. And you don't tend to don't believe anything they see because there have been so much damage on this social media. So because of that, we understand the fact that it's real. But it's available already, but to be affordable, I can assure you.
Okay. So there is hope for the common man.
There's hope for the common man.
Thank you so much, Dr. Elbo.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for coming on Morning Delight.
Thank you so much.
We are so privileged that you left all your busy schedule to be part of us.
And to share your words of knowledge. I think I'd love to pay a second visit to that center.
Yes, of course.
That'd be nice.
Pay a visit.
It's good to have you come around. Yes.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so much. All right, we'll be speaking with the esteemed
Dr. Evaristos Obu. We are glad that he had time to spend with us. Now, moving on the program, let's catch up with the latest on entertainment gist. Let's see entertainment gist.
Entertainment gist. Reactions as Two-Face Divya weds new lover Natasha Osawaru in Abuja. Popular Nigerian singer Two-Face Divya has officially wed his new lover Natasha Osawaru. The couple was captured in a now trending video on social media taking pictures with their traditional wedding cake. Also reported that the singer engaged Natasha earlier this year, a 7-year-old lawmaker, in February 2025, few days after Two-Face announced separation from his wife, Annie Macaulay. Annie has been seen online enjoying her life and clinching all 2 ambassadorial awards. Well, we'll bring you more as it unfolds. On the international scene,
you make me feel whenever I know you're there for my soul. Wherever you are, girl, that's what I call my own.
Burna Boy gave a surprise performance on stage outside Buckingham Palace in London as England's women's soccer team celebrated its recent triumph in the European Championship. It was here that the Nigerian artist struck the England manager Serena Wigman with an impromptu performance with the squad on stage. Wanabo was introduced on stage by former England player Alex Scott and made reference to the fact that he was Wingsman's favorite singer. Wingman, who has managed the side since 2021, screamed in excitement, "Oh no way!" and looked shocked as he arrived on stage. The pair danced and sang one of his favorite songs.
Until the night is over, I wanna hold you so tight, coming closer.
A civil lawsuit alleging battery assault and negligence has been filed against Grammy-winning rapper Cardi B by a woman who says she was hit by a microphone that the singer threw at her during a show recently in July in Las Vegas. After the incident went public on social media, the talented female rapper is now the target of a legal battle demanding both compensatory and punitive damages. The incident took place at Drell's Beach Club in Las Vegas, and the performance via video showed Cardi B performing in clearly hot weather while yelling and pointing for the audience to squeeze her with water to cool her down. However, according to the lawsuit, Cardi B reacted with apparent anger and without when he suddenly and forcibly throwing a microphone directly at the plaintiff. Jane Joe alleges that as a result of the incident, she suffered severe emotional distress, shock, humiliation, and physical injury. Her lawsuit contends that Cardi B should have known that throwing the microphone presented a forcible risk of physical injury. She further claims that Cardi B's actions were an unjustified and retaliatory act that led to harmful contact, and that the actions were excessive, disproportionate, and undertaken in a public venue, causing additional reputation and emotional harm. That's how we got to bring you away an entertainment gist. Now let's recap the top stories of the week. We'll be covering the most important news and events from the past week, from politics to sports, just the way you want it. Weekly review. Construction work begins on the Benin Asabadua carriageway. Edo State Governor His Excellency Senator Modu Okpebholo has undertook a comprehensive inspection tour of critical infrastructure projects across Benin City, the state capital. During the inspection, Mr. K.V. Rao, Project Director for Africa Plus Partners and the Benin Asaba Expressway Concession Company Limited, said about 20 kilometers of the dual carriage 10-lane expressway are projected to be completed before December 2025. Governor Okpebholo's inspection highlighted the monumental expansion of the Benin Asaba Expressway, the reconstruction of Amufi Road, and the ongoing flyover construction at Ramat Park, all poised to redefine connectivity and economic vibrancy in the region.
It's taking this road straight to Asaba. It's going to be, at the end of the day, 10 lanes, 5 on this side, 5 on the other side. But what they are doing now is palliative, to make the road look clean. Remember that when this road was flagged a few months ago, the Minister for Works was here, the Finance Minister was here, I was also here. This is the fruit of that flag off, and this is demonstration of Mr. President's renewed agenda for our people.
The centerpiece of the inspection was the ambitious Benin Asaba Expressway. Governor Okpebholo, visibly impressed by the progress and the scale of the project, articulated the federal government's commitment to delivering on its promises. The governor further underscored the project's significance as a direct outcome of high-level government engagement. The governor also reviewed the progress on Amufi Road in Agbo area, which connects 4 communities such as Amufi, Okpara, Ianomo, and the Giekmen communities. These urban infrastructural development is set to complement the expressway, elevating traffic bottlenecks and enhancing the daily lives of Benin City residents. That on the weekly review reports. kudos to the governor on that, inspecting the ongoing infrastructure in the state. Well, finally, it's time for Sports Reel. We're bringing you highlights of our super girls, the Super Falcons. I can't contain my joy from thrilling victories to inspiring comebacks.
They made Nigeria proud.
Oh yes, women always make Nigeria proud. So we'll cover the most exciting moments on the Sports Reel. Hey, don't miss this.
Nigeria Super Falcons produced a sensational second-half comeback to beat host Morocco 3-2 and sealed a record-extending 10th Women African Cup of Nations title. The Atlas Lioness led 2-0 at the break in Rabat through Gavlin Chibok fine calling effort and a cuff shot from Sina Miss Lloyd. Esther Okoronkwo inspired the Falcons after the break, pulling a goal back from the penalty spot in the 64 minutes after Benzema handled a cross from Folamide Ijamilusi. Okoronkwo burst into the Moroccan box and squared for Ijamilusi to equalize in the 71st minute, then tipped up substitute Jennifer Echigini to score the winner with 2 minutes of the game remaining. The 21,000 capacity Olympic Stadium was turned into silence as the Super Falcons player collapsed to the turf in celebration at the final whistle after producing a seemingly unlikely revival that will live long in the memory. Meanwhile, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and his wife received the victorious Super Falcons at the State House. The president narrated his experience during the final match.
I didn't want to watch the match. I didn't want high blood pressure. When it was 2-0, I got very offended and restless. But I was there still watching. The indomitable spirit of resilience, determination, and courage.
President Tinubu commended the resilient spirit of the ladies upturning a looming defeat in the first half, which later led to the victory for the country.
Your victory represents more than the sport accomplishment. It is a triumph of courage, determination, discipline, and consistency. You made us very, very proud.
For doing the nation proud, the president conferred a national honor to all members of the team. That's it for Sport Reel.
Up Falcons. Woo! Wow, it's been a spectacular time on the show with so much to ponder on. Pearl, do you agree with that?
Of course I do, Just we always have fun on this show. From our guests to the various insightful and inspiring segments. Come on.
Wow.
The guests agree. Even the audience agree.
I'm telling you. Well, we had a nice time on the show today. It's sad that we're about to go. But before we go, we appreciate those who made this program possible, especially those behind the scene, all the crew members. We say thank you.
From the director to the cameraman to the studio manager, just name it. From the highest to the tiniest bit, we appreciate you all. And we appreciate ourselves too. John, I appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you. And you too.
Thank you so much. Please do not forget to follow our page on social media, Money Delight Show, NTA Benin on Instagram, to get the latest update and highlights on our show, and of course the behind the scenes. You might want to see how this beautiful show was packed together.
All right, till we see you same time next week on the show Morning Delight. My name is John Ime, and
I'm still the delectable Pearl Amari,
and we say bye bye.